one day I'll get that right. Hello children, story time again. It comes round so quickly. Now today I've got this little hat on. I thought I might use that to do my Easter bonnet and decorate it because Auntie Louise has said that we should have a competition, a family competition to have a decorated Easter bonnet. So I've started. I'll put a ribbon on mine. I shall put something else on it tomorrow, and then on Sunday I shall put something else on it. See how I do in the competition. So today we've got the usual suspects. We've got Lamb Chop, and we've got Rabbit, and we've got the two dollies. And I don't know what this one's name is, but I know that this is Victoria's dolly, and I think my mummy, I think Grandma made that dolly for Victoria too, so I can't remember what her name is. Perhaps we'll call her Pollyanna. Anyway, because Pollyanna was my favourite film when I was a little girl. And Pollyanna was a little girl and she used to like to play the glad game. And that meant that every time something went wrong, she found something good in it. Anyway, one day I'll tell you the story of Pollyanna, but today I'm going to tell you a Winnie the Pooh story called The Mysterious Wishing Star, because the nights have been so bright that there's been stars up there. Perhaps we could wish on them, couldn't we? So, the mysterious wishing star. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. It was a warm summer evening, and the 100-acre wood was filled with the sound of crickets singing and breezes rustling through the trees. Pooh and his friends were lying on their backs in the meadow, looking up at the beautiful starry sky. And look at the moon, and there was a full moon last night, wasn't there? If you looked out of your window. The man in the moon looks very happy tonight, Pooh said. Yes, he does, cried Piglet. Rabbit frowned. There is no man in the moon, he said, sounding a bit annoyed. Then who's that smiling down at me? Pooh asked. Rabbit just sighed and shook his head. I wish there was a wishing star, Pooh said, just as Tigger bounced over to join his friends. What would you wish for, Pooh boy? Tigger asked. Before Pooh could answer, a very mysterious speck of greenish light began to glow above Pooh and his friends. Look, there's a wishing star, Piglet cried. Make your wish, Pooh. Pooh was very excited indeed. He had never seen a wishing star quite like this one before. He began to sing, Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish, oh my. Pooh gasped as the wishing star suddenly began to move away. He had seen shooting stars before, but they usually whizzed across the sky in the wink of an eye. This one was more like a dancing star, bobbing to and fro and up and down and back and forth over the meadow. How strange. Why is that wishing star flying away? He asked, frowning. After all, he hadn't had a chance to make his wish. I don't know, Pooh Rabbit replied, but I'm sure I've never seen a wishing star like that before. Maybe it's lonely and wants us to follow it, Piglet suggested. Being such a small animal, Piglet felt a little nervous about chasing after a wishing star, but he was with his friends, and that made him feel a bit braver. We all feel a bit braver with our friends, don't we? If we're a bit worried, we have friends or brothers and sisters and mums and dads, and we can all cuddle up and be brave together. Come on, fellas, that wishing star is getting away, Tigger shouted, bouncing with excitement. Before anyone knew what was happening or how they could stop the star, Pooh, Tigger, Rabbit and Piglet were racing across the meadow after the glowing spot of light. There they all are, racing across the meadow. They look very happy, don't they? Pooh and his friends soon found out they were chasing a very mischievous wishing star. Each time the friends came close to catching up with it, the little light would dart ahead. Catch it, Tigger, Rabbit cried as the star zigzagged over his friend's head. Wish I could bounce that high, Tigger answered, but try as he might, he couldn't bounce as high as the wishing star. "I think I'm almost bounced out, Rabbit," Tigger said. And he bounced as high as he could, but he couldn't catch the wishing star. Just then Tigger landed on a springy bed of moss growing in the meadow. Boing! Look at that, he bounced so high. Tigger bounced so high that he sailed right over the wishing star. "Woo-hoo-hoo! My wish came true," Tigger cried, landing on the grass. Bouncing is what Tiggers do best, but that was certainly the bestest bounce I ever did. "Well, the star still got away," Rabbit said. Pooh wasn't used to chasing things across the meadow, especially flying things. "Oh, bother! This wishing star is making me very tired indeed," he said, huffing and puffing as he scrambled to join his friends. But if Pooh was struggling to keep up with the others, Piglet was having an even harder time. Being such a small animal, his little legs could carry him only so fast, which wasn't really fast at all. He got left behind a bit, didn't he? You know, when Auntie Louise was little, she used to get left behind because she was the smallest in the family and she had little legs. But sometimes if she got behind, she would just sit down and we would say, "Louise, come on, Louise," and she would just sit there. And she would say, "I'm not coming till you come back for me." Wasn't she a little madam? So we would walk away and say, going home now. No, there she sat, stubborn as anything, and we would have to go back and fetch her. So most of the time she was a very good girl, but she could be very stubborn, just like that, because she had little legs and she would get left behind. Anyway, "Oh my," Piglet sighed as he tried to hurry up a small hill. "How I wish I could catch up with my friends." Quite out of breath and wiping his brow, Piglet finally reached the top of the hill, but just when he thought he was too tired to take another step, oops! Down the hill he tumbled. "Oh!" Piglet cried as he tumbled head over paws, rolling faster and faster and faster still. Piglet rolled down the hill past his friends without them even noticing. Finally he landed in the grass at the bottom of the hill. "Why, Piglet, how did you get ahead of us?" Pooh asked when he finally got to the bottom of the hill and saw his friend lying on his back. "I think I had a little help from the wishing star," Piglet replied, feeling dizzy. There he is. "Well, don't just lie there," Rabbit said excitedly as he hurried past Piglet. "We've got a humdinger of a wishing star to catch." "Here, Piglet, let me help you up," Pooh offered, holding out his paw. "Why, thank you, Pooh," said Piglet gratefully, "and thank you, wishing star," he whispered, smiling. The wishing star took Pooh and his friends past Roo's house. There's Roo. Roo's a kangaroo, isn't he? A little kangaroo. The wishing star took them past Roo's house. As they raced by, Roo poked his head out of the window. "Hello, Roo, we're chasing a very busy wishing star," Pooh stopped to explain. "A wishing star! Hooray! Maybe I'll get my wish," cried Roo. "What did you wish for, Roo?" said Pooh. "I wish that I could be with my friends instead of having to go to bed," Roo replied. "Can I please go outside with my friends, Mama? Can I, please?" Kanga sighed. "Oh, all right," she answered. "Just don't stay out too late, dear." "Hooray, my wish came true. Thanks, Mama," Roo replied, hopping out of the bedroom window and landing beside Pooh. "And be careful, Roo," Kanga called after him. "All right, Mama," Roo replied a little impatiently. He placed his tiny paw in Pooh's. "Which way did the star go, Pooh?" There they are. Pooh's holding his hand to look after him because he's only little. "That way," Pooh pointed towards a thicket of trees. "Let's go," Roo shouted, and he and Pooh headed off after the wishing star. When everyone had caught up to the mysterious wishing star, they watched as it weaved in and out of the branches of a tall tree. "What should we do now?" Piglet asked. Rabbit thought for a moment. "Tigger, maybe you can bounce as high as you did before and catch it." Tigger tried to bounce, but he couldn't get high enough. "I guess you only get one wish when you wish on a wishing star," he said. He shook his head sadly. No more Tiggerific bounces for me. He can't get up the tree to get it, can he? Too high. All right then, I wish Christopher Robin was here, Rabbit sighed. Just then, who should come along but Christopher Robin himself. He was wearing his pyjamas and carrying a flashlight. Told you that was some swishing star, Tigger said, nudging Rabbit. Your wish came true just like that. I was getting ready for bed when I heard voices outside, Christopher Robin explained. Where is everyone going? Before anyone could answer Christopher Robin's question, the little star took off again. Follow that star, Tigger shouted, pointing toward the woods. Christopher Robin followed his friends, trying to get a better look at the star. A smile spread across his face, and he chuckled softly. Star? That's not a star, Tigger. That's a... he began. But Tigger and the others had dashed off before Christopher Robin had a chance to finish his thought. When Christopher Robin finally caught up with everyone, they were standing before an amazing sight. There at the edge of the woods stood a tree whose branches were filled with hundreds of glowing specks of light, just like Pooh's wishing star. Oh, look, Christopher Robin, Pooh exclaimed. It's a wishing tree. Now I can make lots of wishes. Oh, the wishes, all the stars. Christopher Robin shook his head. Silly old bear, he said with a smile. I was trying to tell Tigger earlier that your wishing star isn't a star at all. Do you children know what it is? I do. We don't have them here. They have them in countries where it's very hot, like America. But he said, it's a firefly. And if you go to a hot country and at night time, you can see the fireflies. Sometimes you can see them here, but not very often. You can see the flies flying about and they have little lights inside them, diddly, 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 and they look just like little stars. So he looked up at the tree, and I guess the firefly just wanted to join the rest of its family, and there they all are. I think that's the end now. Oh, no, it's not. Very lucky. Does that mean I won't get my wish? Pooh asked sadly. He was feeling very much like the very only one who hadn't had a wish come true. I'm afraid not, Christopher Robin said gently. Just then there came a loud buzzing sound from the top of the tree. What's that? Rabbit asked. Sounds like bees, Christopher Robin replied. Pooh's face lit up. Bees? Oh, why then I did get my wish, Christopher Robin, he said happily. What did you wish for? Christopher Robin asked. Why, honey, of course, and this seems to be a honey tree. After all, honey's the only thing I ever wish for, Pooh replied. Everyone laughed along with Pooh, and even the fireflies seemed to twinkle merrily too. And there they are, little fireflies in front of the moon. Well, that was a lovely story today, wasn't it? And I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Yes, we did. Good. Right, give us a little cuddle. Bye. Oh, pull your dress down, missus. Bye. Bye, lamb chop. Bye. Bye, rabbit. Bye. And now, don't forget this time, decorate your hats. Doesn't matter what kind of hat you have. You might have a cap you want to decorate. And I'll see them on Sunday. You can send me a picture. Okie doke. Goodbye, children.